One of the biggest lessons I learned with relationships, being a woman, not just any woman, okay? I'm a woman who loves to help elevate her man. Do not invest in a man that's not your husband. I promise you, you will be helping to build him up for another woman, and you will walk away with nothing. And even if he is your husband, yes, the relationship can still end. But at least you have a good chance of seeing a return on your investment. Marriage is a business. So anything you contribute to said business while you are in that contract, you are entitled to a portion of. So you can pour into that man all you want. Help build him up, help him earn assets, do all of that. But if you do not have that contract, if you are not married to that man, if that man decides to get up and walk away, or if that relationship doesn't work, or you just have to walk away because it's so bad, guess what you get to walk away with? Zero. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just speaking on my ass. And I'm not just talking boyfriends. I'm talking fiancés too, okay? Do not invest in that man. And there's a thin line between, being nice and being helpful versus building a man completely up. Trust me. And I get it. There are success stories, okay? Stories where the woman, she did invest in a man and he actually kept his promise and he in return invested in her. Sis, if you got that, if that happened to you, kudos to you, because you found a 1 in a million. But most of them are not that studious, okay? So sis, build yourself up, okay? Invest in yourself, all right? Save that energy for when he give you his last name. Therefore, your investment is protected. All right.
Carrie, this woman says, do not pour into a man unless you are married. Do you agree or disagree, and why?
Huh. I it's like I want to agree with her, but I don't know if you can really not do that if you're that type of a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like my previous relationships before I got married, like my tendency is to help my man. So I know that guys reap benefit from me being with them because that
Mm.
was just, but I know that I probably got the short end of the stick because, for whatever reason it
Only
didn't
had
work
6
out.
inches.
But what is that?
So what, Quinn?
Oh, nothing. I'm sorry, that was inappropriate.
I didn't hear what he said anyway. Go ahead. Go ahead, Carrie.
So
So in a way, you agree
I
with it
don't,
because you're saying that you got the short end of the stick, but that's just the type of person that you are.
right. So I don't know if that's realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me to agree with her would assume that that's how I am, or that I acknowledge that I shouldn't have been that way. And I really don't know that I shouldn't have been that way. So,
Is that only applicable when it comes to relationships, though?
yeah, because there's just something with me, like I don't know, it's just I've always just been like whatever man I'm with, I end up with.
No,
I
like
want
even
to.
outside of relationships. Let's assume that like male friendships. Is that also
Mm,
applicable with that?
no, not like a man that I'm with. No.
No, no, no. I'm saying like, is her advice applicable to men that are friends? Like, let's say women pouring into guys that they're friends with or cool with or whatever. Should they only pour into men? Is it only for most situations? Is it only beneficial for women to pour into their husbands and not men that they're in a relationship with or men that they are friends with or all of that type of stuff? Is there a benefit to it? Is it always a return or investment, or is it usually just one sided and draining?
Um, I think that the benefit to it would be different with a friend versus like a guy that you're with. So with a friend, I would say you shouldn't be pouring into him the way you would a guy that you're with. Um so yeah, no, I definitely think that it should be a difference. And then again, I probably really need to think more about what she's saying when she says like invest in, because 9 times out of 10, it's not like you lose out on, well, in my cases, it wasn't like I lost out on a bunch of money or whatever. It's just you do reflect like, I put a lot of time into that. I put a lot of energy, but I mean, you really don't lose that much to the point where I would say don't do it, but maybe I should have. Like maybe you shouldn't do it so prematurely. Maybe you should only do it with the man that you marry.
I've never
What
seen
y'all think?
anyone.
Like huh?
Never seen anyone just talk themselves
Because I'm not gonna
like
I'm
that.
not gonna act like the way that I did it was the way that it should have been done. So I'm curious, like
So
I'm
you saying it's a
open to hearing.
possibility that you just got lucky
It's a possi We mean got lucky.
and that it worked out for you, even though you had situations where it wasn't beneficial for you. That may not be everybody. That may not be the case for another woman.
True, right. Yeah. That I could have been, because maybe somebody else invested way more and they lost a lot bigger. So yeah, I mean, I'm open to hearing what y'all think, because I don't know what advice I would give a woman. I don't know what advice I would give, because I might give her the wrong advice by saying, whatever man you're with, you put your all into it. You invest up front. So I'm curious of
So
what y'all
basically,
think
what you're
on it.
saying is that you're not sure if a woman should reserve herself for the person that she's with that is also not yet her husband.
Right.
Slimmy, what do you think about that?
About what
What
the
Carrie
woman
just
said or
said.
what Carrie is saying.
What Carrie said.
Oh, Carrie is Carrie.
I think Slimmy got a different impression of you tonight, Carrie.
What?
I just saw Carrie talk herself out of her initial thought. That was crazy. That was crazy to see in real time. But
What do you think about what the woman said? Don't pour into a man unless you're married to him.
I'm gonna be honest, man. It's just like then it goes back to the conversation. Shit, what do these women bring to the table? Like if you're not gonna do nothing to help this man, he just gotta pour into you, pour into you. What the fuck are you there for?
Are
If you're
men?
not,
Let me ask you another question before you answer that, Slimmy. Are men pouring into women before they get married to them?
Yes.
yeah, for
I'm not
sure.
saying that it's true. It's not true. I'm just
Yeah,
asking the questions.
yeah, they definitely are.
Quinn, why do you say that? I'm gonna
So
come back
I'm
to
men,
you.
just like just the whole like courting, dating, getting married. You both pour into each other, and that's what culminates is the marriage. Nigga, if a chick ain't pouring into me, I'll be like, who are you, nigga? What value do you have to be my wife if you ain't doing something? Type of thing. And I'm sure a woman would say vice versa. Like, you're not pouring into me, so nigga, I don't want to marry you. You don't do shit.
I don't know. This
So
is
I just think
weird.
this is some dumb internet shit. Like, nigga, if you trying to get married, both nigga, this shit, nigga, we odds cup, nigga, and we both, nigga, same time, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, I would think so, nigga. I'm not married, so I can't really speak to it, but I would think people are equally pouring into one another to culminate in a marriage.
Molly, what are your thoughts on this woman saying women should not pour into a man unless you're married?
I agree with her, but what is pouring into him, like financially? Because
I'm
I felt like she was more so talking about well, if it comes to finances, no, I don't think
Hell
women
no.
should be pouring into men financially. There are
Mm-mm.
plenty
Don't
of
do
other
that.
things you can do
Yeah, don't do that.
to show that you care and to support somebody, especially a
Right.
grown man,
Leave it to
besides
Molly to bring up money.
building him up financially. That's not a good idea.
Yeah,
Because I
I
think she made
agree.
some valid points. you could be building him up for the next woman, which happens a lot. So
Well, wait,
I don't.
why is it always like he could be
I
building
have
them up for
had
the next
men
woman?
give me money that they've gotten from other women.
But why
And in the
why
beginning, you might
isn't
think
it?
he's the man, but it's not his money. So
But why is it that men we naturally have to invest in women, and that's never really a thing? Oh,
because
you
y'all
build
set
you,
the rules that way.
but it doesn't matter. We're not talking about. You got to let me finish. But it's never a conversation that, oh man, you building her up for the next man. That's never an issue though. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
With you,
marry
I'm just
her.
going by what you said.
Marry her so she's not for the next man. Y'all leaving
Whoa,
these
wait a
ladies for the
minute.
street. Y'all building them up while they still for the streets.
No, they know
Marry her
y'all.
and then build her. Why are y'all investing in women y'all not even married to? Like, don't do too much, or that you don't want to marry.
Well, what
Y'all
I'm
be
saying
doing too
is
much.
we naturally have to invest in a woman even from the beginning. You got to. You got to. So you can't have it both ways. What I'm saying is, why is there never an issue with men being having to invest? Men, like we literally, this is our lives, but it's so quick for women to just say, no, don't invest in this man. And I'm not even saying that you're wrong. What I'm saying is, it's this sentiment that men aren't worth investing in because you could be building them up for the next woman.
Yes,
That's
why would you be a man's provider as a
I didn't say
woman?
I'm not talking about provisions necessarily, but the fact that you have to help, just
Like what? What would you say would she have to help in?
okay. So say for instance that this man, he goes to work every day and he might not understand how to necessarily voice his opinion without being stern. So you have to actually help him with that. Now, what's wrong with helping this man do that and understand better ways to communicate? What's wrong with that? Because this is ultimately what is being said. Like, don't do stuff like that. Just let him be stern and not show him a
No,
different way. What's wrong
I
with
was
that?
talking about money wise, as far as
Well,
building him up
we know,
financially.
we
Well,
know.
no. I get no, Molly. I agree with that. Don't invest in no. I don't even think a man should invest in a woman's dreams financially unless he's married to her either. I'm saying we got to go on dates and stuff. We got to invest in that way. We can't escape that anyway. But
What's wrong,
problems
Slimmy?
with that?
I just
He's malfunctioning.
God damn, my robot. But I forgot what I was about to
I
say.
just think people
No,
like
I
it.
get
Just
what you're
sounds like
saying,
people
Slimmy.
like they operate like in
You gotta
scarcity.
take it.
Like you're scared to do too much for somebody because somebody gonna do this. Like nigga, just what are we talking
You
about
gotta
right
just take
now?
you do. You
Yeah,
just have to take the
that's true.
chance. You do. You just gotta go for it.
Yeah, okay. Y'all see all these bitter scorn women because they
Like
did too
you
much.
sound like one
They
of them. The way
cry
you talk,
because they
nigga.
did too much. They're always on the internet saying, "Oh, I did this for him and he left me for her." These women be doing too much, and then you have me sitting here
You
unbothered.
can't operate like you
I'm
can't
not
So
breaking a
operate
sweat
like
over no
that.
man.
You because
so I have my
if we're really
answer. I
just
have my
being
go
honest
ahead.
about relationships, like you give someone the opportunity to crush your soul and just hope that they don't.
Don't give
Yeah.
them
Like
your soul.
No, you're right. No, you're right. You have to pour. You do. You have to pour and
Carried and backtrack.
but I told you. I mean, I'm back in. I'm backtracking on the advice I would give. I'm not backtracking on what I have done. Like my tendency is to pour. I just know that sometimes it did, obviously, well, I ended up with my husband, but I know what my past has been. So, but maybe if I didn't pour, I wouldn't have found my husband. So, you just got to take a chance. You got to pour. So I don't agree. You should not pour unless you're married. Now, obviously, once you get married, you should continue to pour, and it should
All right, say
be.
that again. You should not pour. So you should pour
Double
into.
negative. So pour.
So you should
Yeah.
pour into a guy before you get married to him.
you to a
That's
guy
that's
that you think that you would end up marrying.
You know what?
Like the assumption is the guy that you're with can end in marriage.
Fellas.
So I would say that, assuming that the guy that you're with, because that's another conversation of, are you with a guy that you even see y'all getting married? Because maybe that was also part of the problem, that I was with guys that I didn't even think I was gonna marry pouring. I don't know. But assuming that the guy that you're with, you could see y'all being together, poor.
I just think the problem is we have gotten so much of our dating and relationships from TV and movies and social media that
social media says live apart.
people
So
just
there's that.
are just expecting too much sometimes. Like I think it's just unrealistic.
I
And I
think
think
when
it's
you go
unrealistic
outside
for
in
men
real
to
life,
sit
you need.
around and expect a woman to just do the most. And he hasn't given her a ring, stability, paperwork, something. Put her name on something, a will, something.
Pour into that cup.
Y'all can go ahead and
Pour
it's
into that
women out there
cup.
that will do it.
Don't just pour into one. You better just pour a little bit at a time into a few different cups. Because you just try and pour all into one, you're going to get smoked. You're going to get
See,
smoked.
and ladies, you hear Slimmy, don't be pouring into these men because he might have you on rotation. How
Uh,
many other women is pouring
no,
into him too?
no,
Mm-mm.
pour. And we're going to go back into that first cup. We're going to put back into that first
You
cup.
pouring into him, she's pouring into him,
Mm-mm.
she's pouring into him. No. That's why these women don't feel like they're getting anything out of their relationships. They hate their kids. Okay, y'all go ahead, keep pouring. Pouring into these men, little kids they don't want to take care of. Keep pouring, ladies. Go ahead, keep pouring.
And
Pour yourselves empty.
just in general to the chat, because I'm saying this, just I'm not going back and forth or yo-yoing like somebody said. I'm being open to the idea that the way that I did things might not be the best advice to give somebody who is coming behind me. So that's why I'm really thinking this through. That doesn't mean yo-yoing, that means I'm thinking. And now that I'm thinking it through, and I heard what the example that Slimmy gave was a good one, because 9 times out of 10, the pouring that you're doing is not financial.
Yeah,
At
it's
least at the
not.
age that I was at. Now, maybe if you meet a man in your 30s and 40s, maybe it does become more financial. But 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
when you're pouring, it's more of your love, your energy, your attention. Like, it's those types of
It's
things.
not
And at the end of
financial.
the
Yeah.
day, I do think that you're going to have to go out on a limb and offer that up to a man
And I'll
before
be.
he even asks to
Yeah.
marry you.
Yeah. Do
So
not
And
pour
I
into
when
I
it
anyone
comes
now
to
else.
have
like
a solid
women are
answer.
No, I
inspirational
don't
and
know.
women are inspirational. There's so many men, generally speaking, like having a woman makes you want to be better for that woman. Like across the board, that's what men want.
No.
I knew you were gonna say this, Anton. You were gonna be the man. You were gonna be with or without Rita. We know that. But generally speaking, having a woman in your life, it makes you like they inspire you to be better, a better person than who you are, and you want to do better for your wife than for your family. And having women is
No, Quentin. That ain't true. That ain't true. There's so many dudes out here that the woman ain't inspiring them. The woman inspiring them to go get more women that they shouldn't even be with. Probably they shouldn't even have a woman that they with, because they not in position to really take care of her, the right way. And I don't mean financially. I'm just saying mentally, they aren't able to take care of themselves.
I look at women as like the seasoning. Like, I'm going no matter what. It's fun to have a woman with you when you're doing it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fun to have a woman with you when you go into a concert.
Yeah.
It's fun. I can go to a concert by myself, honestly. I can go to a basketball game by myself. But the problem with going to a basketball game by yourself is when you sitting on the floor, they don't sell them as individual tickets, they sell them in pairs. That's the problem. So if I'm going to have a plus one, it's gonna be, unless it's a business partner, I want to have something sitting next to me that's soft. So I look at women as like seasoning. They make the meal better. You know what I'm saying? When you're going out to eat, but at the same time, I'm still gonna eat. I'm still gonna have fun. I'm still gonna have a whole lot of, times. And so I don't really, honestly, I think that as I've gotten older, because I don't value money as much, I don't give a fuck. I just want everybody to have fun. So if a woman is with me, we gonna have fun no matter what. I don't really care about. I, I just think that women just naturally pour into dudes in general. Like I would be very hard pressed if a woman came into my space, and I ain't even just talking about like my crib. I'm talking about like when women come to the studio, they just start straightening up, or you know what I'm saying? Like they just do shit. They just do stuff. They just be doing anything to show that they thankful or helpful or add value and all of this stuff. Like, so I don't know. I just think that
I think that without a woman, like you don't have anyone to like challenge your complacency, push you to higher aspirations, and
I don't need those challenges
You
though.
supposed to do
I'm
that
talking
yourself.
about like generally.
You're
Oh, I'm
supposed to do
sorry.
that
I'm
yourself.
sorry. You're right. You're right.
And I just like women do that for men. Like you can say men could be this and they should do that themselves, but generally that's what men or what women are to men. Like they push you to be a better person.
Huh?
Not me.
Like men that live alone, like you kind of falling in stagnation and just kind of muddle along.
Mm-mm.
I'm confused. What? How can
It's
women
it's
push you to
hard.
be
It's
better?
hard for me not to look at it personally because I know how I'm treated personally.
That's why I didn't want to say shit.
Like, cause like
No,
I
but
said it earlier, when I was in there, I'm sleeping, I'm taking a nap, and I wake up, and then she's folding my clothes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I don't need her to do it, but the fact that she did it is dope. I don't need you for anything. I don't need anything. I don't think that most men need a woman, but it's nice to have them around when they are cool, calm, collected, pleasant, and you know what I'm saying? And they smell so fucking good, bro. They smell so good. And so, I think it's a really, really good nice to have. But I personally, I think that if you need a woman to motivate you, then we got bigger problems to work through.
I didn't
Honest.
say you need it. They just it's what they do.
Motivate you?
They do. They
How? Is Quentin frozen? No, he's not frozen. He's looking. How do they
it's
how
just
do
like
they
it's
motivate
like
you?
sometimes like they give you a purpose. Like when you don't like most people aren't self-motivated. Like they need some they need a push, and that woman is the push.
No, it's the
Like I'm
problem.
not gonna play this whole men is this and men is always this and men should
No, Quinn,
do
like
this and
I
men
like
should do that. No, that's not the case.
no.
Women
Listen, I'm not
are
saying that you're
the
wrong.
creme de la creme.
I'm not saying that you're wrong about it could be true in a lot of ways, especially for a lot of guys, because we all know that nobody is a monolith.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should do stuff for women. Like women can't be. It can't be the motivation. I think that that's a problem.
So what is a meal for you without the seasoning?
No,
Like
no, no.
when
They
once
like
you add the seasoning, doesn't that
extra seasoning.
but
I'm speaking
can't that
figuratively.
elevate? No, I know, but so figuratively speaking though, isn't the seasoning elevating the meal?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely,
so
hundred
you just
percent.
said women are the seasoning. So why
But
can't
that's not
we
the reason. They're not going to determine whether or not I'm going to work hard. They're not
that's
going to determine whether or not I push myself. It's not going to determine whether or not I'm grinding, I'm hustling. Like
I don't
they're not my motivation, is what I'm saying.
I don't think that's what Quentin was saying though. I don't think he was saying it such that without having the woman, you are now void of doing those things, period. But
No, that is
having
what he
one
said.
That's
having one
literally
can
what he
certainly
said.
That is
elevate
what
it,
he
huh?
said. Because he said
That's
you become
literally what he's
stagnant.
saying.
That is what he said. He said
Yeah,
men living.
generally, y'all are making this like super
But
personal. I'm glad
but
No,
I'm
he,
making
stagnant
it
he's just saying
personal.
what you said.
You said men who live by themselves become stagnant.
I
Right.
said some. I didn't say all.
Well, I
You
mean,
didn't say
okay,
you
you
said
said
all.
some men that live by themselves become stagnant.
They do some. They do some.
And I said that if that is the case and that they need a woman to motivate them to be better or to do more because they are stagnant, that is a bigger problem. I think that that's a problem.
Yeah, you're supposed to do better for yourself, just in general. You supposed to always want to push yourself to go to the next level. You're supposed to.
is it hard to say that women can help with that though? Like, not that you need it, not
In
that
what
you
way?
can't be.
Explain it to me. Explain it to me. Give me an example or explain it to me. How can women help in that way? And I'm not saying that they can't. I'm just saying help me to understand it because I don't see it.
Okay, so using the example that you used of what Rita did.
Like, what does she do?
So she came over and she got your clothes in order,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now you could
The
certainly
ones that came out of the washing machine. Facts.
mhm, you could certainly do that for yourself. We know that,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to because she's doing that for you.
Correct. But that's not
So
what
the
I'm talking
same thing.
about. I'm talking about being motivated as a man to go out and grind and hustle and get it. I'm not talking about the fact that she doesn't add people, she absolutely adds value. I'm not taking anything away from the value that she's adding. I'm saying that men that are motivated by women to do more, that I think that that's problematic.